Welcome back. It's been a couple weeks, lots been going on. Got some updates on the whole Vefreedom, credit thing. I know in the last video I said that by the time I post it, the batteries would be gone. They're still here. Been boxed up. I've been going back and forth with the vendor. We had a negotiated deal with the credit. So they were supposed to give me 50% before I shipped them and then 50% when they received, but they kept playing with the wording. They started saying, well, when we receive it, we're gonna test it. And then I went back and I said, the batteries are crap. And guess what? The whole responsibility and risk of returning this stuff, that's on you. I mean, the fact that you guys falsely advertised this stuff, you took the risk when you guys sent me the wrong stuff. It wasn't what was advertised. All the risk is on you. I'm willing to send the batteries back, but however they get returned to you, I'm not a shipping expert, I'm not a packaging expert. If you don't want to send me a box packaged how you want it, it's gonna get there however it gets there. That was 2 weeks ago Tuesday. And then I checked the credit card company, there was no pending return or anything. And I sent an email back. I said, hey, I'm ready to ship these out. What's going on? They got back to me the next day. They said, we've, whatever, I forgot what the excuse was, but we'll issue the credit right away. And I saw the pending transaction. It's like, okay, we'll let it go through. And then I was thinking of sending it out that Friday. When Friday came around, pending transaction was gone. And there was actually a credit on my account from the credit card company related to the dispute. They give a preemptive credit basically if the vendor takes too long to respond. And they can take it away at any time. They kind of just do it just so you're not paying interest and stuff on the charges. After that, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like Monday and Tuesday, I was getting 1 to 2 emails a day from the vendor saying that I need to close the dispute and then they'll issue the credit. I've done enough of this stuff that I know that's kind of fishy, so I called the credit card company, called their fraud department. I was so concerned when I got sent off to an India call center. I mean, no offense, I know everyone's got to do work, but I just have such a hard time understanding them. I wish I could remember the lady's name, but she was amazing. Again, had a hard time understanding her, but she was willing to repeat everything, and we went through the whole process. And she basically said that they only have 29 days from 2 weeks ago to close this, the credit card company. They basically have an internal time limit. And she said if I was to close it early, that it would be a lot more difficult for me to reopen one. I couldn't just go to the website and say reopen. I would actually have to call, and then there would have to be extenuating circumstances to reopen one. So she recommended that I keep it open, and she verified that there's nothing stopping them from giving me a credit. She said the credit that they give me is an internal one, and if the vendor was to send me a credit and they could reverse the credit that they gave me and just use the vendor's credit. And then she also recommended that since I still have the merchandise, that if I was to send it back, I would just take a copy of the receipt verifying that FedEx picked it up, and then attach that to my claim, so that way that there's documentation on my side. And she said that what the vendor would do is when they issue the credit, that they would send documentation. Basically, they're going to work as like a third-party arbitrator kind of thing. So I did a summation of that, sent that back over to the vendor, and I said, this is the way it is. I am willing to send it back, but I want the credit first, just as we negotiated. I got a couple more emails just from them, basically saying the same thing. Hey, we need you to cancel the dispute before we can issue the credit. I didn't reply to them. What am I going to say? I'm not going to sit here and repeat myself over and over again. Then 2 days ago, I was actually sitting down getting ready to make a video about doing the battery on the back, and getting ready to set up to get a replacement battery and everything, and got a notice from the credit card company that my dispute's been closed. Okay, cool. And then I started reading through it, and it says that the credit's permanent. Haven't heard anything from the vendor in a couple days. I think that maybe they gave up. I don't know. I have no idea. So I got the batteries ready to go. I'm pretty sure since the dispute's closed, I am under no obligation to return these. I am not that big of an asshole though, so if they were to reach out and they wanted the batteries back, since that was our negotiation, I am fully prepared to send them the batteries back. However, I think we're going to be keeping them, and instead of setting up 2 bikes, I probably will just be setting up 1 bike, because I really want to see what it would do with a 52 volt controller and see if I can get a bigger battery in there. That, and I made this whole stack of parts. Look at all this. I got all these parts, made new controller box, made new everything. I mean, I already made this stuff. So, I mean, we're gonna do a little demo on how you could put a battery. I don't know, maybe you want to put an extended battery on your bike. Maybe your battery's gone and you want to try replacing with a rear rack one. I don't know. Maybe you want to do dual battery setup. So I'm just gonna walk through and show you, how I would go through and attach this rear battery. Since I got everything done. So we'll do that later on. But yeah, looks like I got 2 free bikes, basically. So, I mean, if you bought one, get that dispute going. Like I said in my last video, we gotta get these guys to be telling us the truth. And the only way that they're going to is if we start holding them responsible.